Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. I'm Jade, and in today's episode, we're going to look at this room here. This room, it becomes one of the most frequented rooms in an entire Minecraft world. Because every time you want to go to the end dimension, you have to come through here and you have to go through the portal. There's no other way around going through this portal here, which means there's no other way around going through this room. And despite this room being so frequented, I've never actually done anything with it in previous worlds that I've played in. I usually just set up a nether portal really close by, so I can just come through the nether and then run straight into the end. So before we get too far into this world, building-wise, I want to make this room look better. One, because it's a very important room that we come to very often, but another one is it'll tie into the lore of our world, which we'll talk a little bit more about in this video. And about the fall of the ancient builders. So not just improving on this room, but improving on the Stronghold as a whole. Because right now, the way the Strongholds generate, they're just a bunch of boxes connected to one another. It doesn't really tell too much of a story, other than, it just being abandoned. So I want to expand on the Stronghold. I want to improve the rooms that it has, kind of keep the theme going, but just make it look a bit more fancy. And we're going to start with this room here, since it's the one we'll be coming to the most. And we're working a lot underground this episode, so it kind of kills two birds with one stone. We're going to be building a lot of projects above ground in future episodes, but we need materials for that. So I figured that while we're working down here, we can be digging out all the stone around here and, collecting materials for projects in the future. So this is just the natural next step that I decided to take with the world. So how are we going to dig out all of this stone around me and make the Stronghold better? Well, between episodes, I went to the Nether, and I went to the Nether Fortress and got 3 wither skeleton skulls. So before we do anything and get started building and digging, we're going to take on a wither so we can get a beacon and set up haste 2 to make our digging a lot easier. So let's go ahead and take on the wither. Alright, we're down here deep underground because this is where we're going to take on the wither. I didn't want to fight the wither out on the surface because he may go around destroying a lot of the terrain and stuff. And also, if he started flying away, I really don't want to, have to chase him down. So we're just going to cheese this fight. I dug deep underground underneath our stronghold and found a patch of tuff to set him up in. So hopefully, as he starts blowing things up, we can collect some tuff as we're fighting. But let's take a look at some of the stuff that we need to fight this guy. So we've got the 3 wither skeleton skulls. We've got all of our armor. All of it is maxed out with protection 4, unbreaking 3, and mending. And then I've also gone ahead and brewed some strength 2 potions that'll hopefully make the fight a bit quicker. Got a bunch of food, our sword, and a bow in case we have to run away and shoot him from a distance. So I think that's everything that we need to take on the wither. So I guess we can go ahead and put the guys' heads on. And this is going to be the first wither that we take on here in this world. So hopefully everything goes smoothly and it's not too difficult since we're cheesing it here. We're going to put the final head on here and then run away. He's going to blow up here. Go ahead and drink the strength potion. Wait for him to explode, and then we're going to run in and get some hits in. Okay, a few hits here. Oh, ouch. Oh, I don't have... Ooh. I never put the armor on. Oh, that's so very painful. Oh, man. Ouch. What a blunder. There goes all that, well, all the tools that we had there are probably gone now forever. Okay, thankfully I took the time to make a bunch of backup gear. So hopefully we can rush back in there and kill the guy with this backup gear. I still can't believe I did that. That was the ultimate blunder. Okay, we're back in the fight. The wither is right down here. And did we save anything? I see that we got the ender chest back, but I don't think there were any tools or anything left. Ouch. Oh, and now I don't have any of the strength 2 potions, so it's probably going to be a longer fight. Yeah, we didn't save any armor or our sword or our pick, so all that's gone. Ouch, ouch, ouch. We should have brought a bucket of milk, too. That would have made things a lot easier, too. I really thought I was prepared for this fight. But all the preparation in the world can't prepare you for stupidity. Please die, please die, please die. Please die. Think we're gonna do it? Whew. Yay, we've killed the wither. And it's only costed us hours and hours of our time that we spent getting the skulls and all that time we spent making the diamond armor and things. Oh, it did not go as smoothly as I thought it would. That is to say the least. Alright, so we've made some progress on the Ender Portal room, and I want to bring you guys back in for a progress report, because it's gotten a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be, and there's some things that I want to point out about it. So let's take a look. Please ignore the chest here in the front, but this is the room, and this is the Ender Portal. So I went ahead and put obsidian underneath it to like put it up on a pedestal, which I think it makes sense because in the end they've got these obsidian pillars in there, so it's kind of similar to that. But the room itself right now I've got lit up with all of these torches, but I don't think I'm going to keep it that way. I think I want this room to be very dark. I want this room in the entire stronghold to be in a ruined state. So I think to keep things from spawning in here, I'm going to place down a bunch of glow lichen. And that way it'll keep the room very dim, but it'll keep mobs from spawning. The end portal itself emits like a glow. So I think that'll be really cool if you come into this room and it's very dark, but then there's a glow coming from around the ender portal, kind of making it the focal point of the room. But other than that, the room itself is kind of like a church. It's kind of like a Gothic cathedral with the tall part here in the middle and then like smaller parts here on the sides. I think it's important when we're building this stronghold to include a bunch of arches. I think arches symbolize that you're underground. There's a lot of weight above you. So you have to have the arch to support all that weight. So I think that makes a lot of sense for this room here. And for this room in particular, I wanted to keep like an homage to the original room that surrounds the ender portal that generates in Minecraft. So one of those things, like it's got iron bars. And I wanted to try to use the iron bars in here, but I felt like they were standing out a bit too much. So I used cauldrons and hoppers, which are both iron things. And these might have been where flames used to have been lit. What originally kept this room lit. So they would have been in the cauldrons, flames on all of those, and then flames up there as well. But now that it's ruined, it's extinguished. And then basalt, which we use basalt as the pillars for our ruined city at spawn. So I think that kind of carries over that both that and this were built by the ancient builders. So there's an entrance here, which is going to lead out to the rest of the stronghold. And then there's a second level up here as well. So in here is where we move the nether portal to. So it can be really efficient when we come to the stronghold from the nether. We come out through here, and then we can just keep running straight and drop down this hole straight into the end. And then on this side, I think I'm going to put a staircase that leads down into the rest of the stronghold as well. But that's about it for this room at the moment. I think what I'm going to do next is make it even more of a ruin. So I'm going to remove all these torches, place down a bunch of glow lichen, and make sure nothing can spawn in here. And then, as another homage to the original room that was here, I want to add in lava. Because when you first come into that room, there's lava on both sides, and I think that's a distinguishing part of the ender portal room in Minecraft. So I want to add lava into this room, and I think to do that, I want to put like large fissures in the floor here. So there may be like a crack coming from here, maybe all the way like to here, and then there's lava down there with both lava and magma blocks. So I want to do that and see how that looks and see what it looks like really dark in here. But before I do that, I was exploring the stronghold and lighting it all up, and I found something that I want to show you guys. So let's go take a look at that. So intersecting with our stronghold here is a fairly large mine shaft, and it makes the stronghold just a big mess of blocks. Like you can see here where multiple lines of the mine shaft are intersecting with the stronghold, and I didn't dig out any of these blocks. This is just how this room spawned. And a lot of the rooms in the stronghold look like this. So there's going to be a lot of work to do to shape these up into something that looks a lot better. But while this is kind of a downside, an upside of having this mine shaft running through the stronghold is we get some spawners in here. So this one over here is just a normal cave spider spawner, which comes with the mine shaft. So that's nice in itself. But then down here is a conjoined dungeon. So these two here are close enough to this one over here to where we can find a spot to stand and have all 3 activated, I believe. Which is really nice because all of them are good spawners. That's the cave spider spawner. This one is a regular skeleton spawner. And this one just a regular spider spawner. So bones are always nice to have. We do have the bone meal farm, but any extra bones are always welcomed. And then I have been finding myself with a need for string recently because I've been making a lot of scaffolding, and I find the main deterrent to my scaffolding production is string. So I've been just going up to the surface at night and hunting spiders with a looting sword, which is not really that efficient for string production. So I think I want to make a spider, skeleton, and cave spider spawner grinder in this area where we can just sit here and collect the materials that these spawners will give to us. So I'm going to take some time and dig out the area around these spawners and work on building a little farm here in our stronghold. But as I do, let's talk more about the lore of our world. It's time to talk about the fall of the ancient builders. So let's get started. So, in the last episode, we talked about the age of the ancient builders, where magic was introduced into our world and monumental advancements were made. All of this would come to an abrupt end due to 2 major events. The first of these events was the outbreak of the undead plague, which swept through human and villager populations. The spread of the plague was rapid and relentless, with many human societies collapsing under the undead hordes. Communities that had once flourished with the help of magic and trade, were reduced to ashes as survivors sought refuge in isolated pockets of the world. The second and more disastrous event was the ancient builders' attempt to replicate their success with the Nether by opening a portal to the new dimension known as the End. The portal, constructed deep within a secure underground stronghold, was built with the hope of discovering new resources, magical powers, or even a cure for the undead plague. However, instead of salvation, the portal unleashed a new terror upon the world, the Endermen. The Endermen, hostile creatures with the ability to teleport between dimensions, poured through the portal into the human world. They were unlike anything humanity had ever faced, with their hive-like intelligence and mysterious connection to a powerful entity known as the Ender Dragon. The Endermen swiftly became a grave threat, attacking human settlements and defeating many of the ancient builders' most powerful mages. The combined effects of the undead plague and the Enderman invasion led to the fall of the ancient builders and the collapse of human civilization. Entire cities were left abandoned, temples and pyramids fell into disrepair, and the once mighty societies of the age of the ancient builders crumbled. As the powerful mages and leaders of this age perished, the surviving population was plunged into the Age of Ruin, a dark era of fear, isolation, and survival. Alright, so we finished building up around the spawners here, and that's about all we did. We didn't add any decoration or anything at the moment. Just 2 stone boxes. But let's take a look at them here and see how it turned out. So this one over here is the cave spider spawner, and this one over here is just the normal spider and the skeleton spawner. And if you stand in this area here, you can have all spawners activated. I did go ahead and add lights into these so that when you flip this switch here, the lights will turn off and things will start spawning inside of the spawners. And we can go into free cam mode to look in here and see what's going on. So just have them a very long drop, and then they fall down here on soul sand, and then underneath the soul sand is a minecart track picking up all the stuff, because items can be picked up using a hopper minecart through soul sand. I did put soul sand at the bottom just in case any skeletons spawned with like really nice boots on and didn't die. I mean, I made it a very far drop. And it's the same on the other one over here, even though this one's just spiders. I didn't want any surviving and then sitting on the track and being stopping the minecart. But as of right now, I just have them going into these chests down here. I do want to have them go up a bubble Vader and then collect in like a storage room or something up here. But we're going to have to design all that in another episode. For now, I think we're going to head back over to the main room that we worked on earlier in the video and take a look at a few more changes that we made over there. Okay, we're back over here at the end portal room, and I think I'm about done with this room. Just about. I went ahead and I added in the crack in the floor that I was talking about and added in the lava down there. So I think that works to really brighten up the middle part of this room, because the end portal itself emits light, and then the lava down here emits light as well. So I've only had to use a few glow lichen on the sides here and then some slabs as well to keep things from spawning. So I like the crack in the floor. But I also added in some chorus fruit plants, and I'm not sure about them. I do like the story that they tell, how like the end is kind of corrupting the stronghold out here. But I don't know if I like the way that they look. They have to be planted on this end stone, which really stands out. But also they're just really hard to grow. Like, you can see where I've had to dig out like a perfect square here just to get this one to grow up into the middle. And even then, I kind of don't like it being right down the middle. I kind of wanted it to grow up and then off to either side. So I'm probably going to have to tear this one down and replant. Went ahead and added some in the back here as well, and another crack, but you can see how I had to dig out around it so it could grow up. And I think this one's done growing. Well, I think this one could grow a little bit more, but I don't know if it will. So let me know what you guys think about the chorus fruit. But I think we're done with this room. And we can move on to the rest of our stronghold. So we need to think about what we're going to put in our stronghold here. We've got the main room. And then I also want to build a library, because the stronghold has... I think this stronghold here has 2 libraries in it. So I want to pay homage to the Minecraft library and build something, you know, that looks pretty cool underground here. And then another room that I think about when I think of the stronghold is like that room with the 2 cells in it. So I want to build like some cells down here. But if you guys have any ideas about what to include in a stronghold, let me know. You got to think like the ancient builders came down here to escape the undead plague. So it's kind of like an apocalyptic bunker, but a medieval apocalyptic bunker. So if you have any ideas for cool and interesting rooms to put in here, let me know, and we can build them in the coming episodes. But I think that that's going to do it for today's episode. We got a lot done. We defeated the Wither, even though it killed us, and we lost all our stuff. And we also dug out a lot of stone down here. So let's take a look at the comment of the day. I think the inn needs to be updated. We need to be able to go there, not just for the shulker boxes and the elytra. Anyway, nice vid. I like how your way of playing is more down to earth rather than doing over-the-top builds. So thank you for that. I do want to try at least a few over-the-top builds in this world. I want to make some really giant castles eventually. But we need a lot of resources to do that and a lot of time. So that's going to be something for down the road. But then this other part is in reference to something I asked last episode. What do you guys think we should add into the end just to make it more interesting? Because I don't think I'll ever go back in there, like, to explore. Because I've got all the shulker boxes that I need, all the elytra that I need. I mean, if I ever do need more shulker boxes, I guess I'll go back out there. But for now, I'm pretty good. I think that the end needs another structure in there outside of just the end city. I think it would make it more interesting for traveling and exploration. And then, of course, whatever that structure would be would give something cool as well. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all the nice comments on the videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.